What's going on, people? Myke C-Town here with another episode of Records and Ramblings. Before we get into the records, let's do a little bit of rambling. So some of you guys are probably newcomers to my channel who came over from the Punk Rock NBA channel, where I did a video with Finn discussing racism in metal and rock and roll. So welcome, you guys. If you're a regular viewer and you haven't checked out that video yet, the link is in the description section down there. Make sure you jump over there, give it a watch, show Finn some love by subscribing to his channel, all that good stuff. Because I feel like it's really cool when people take stances on shit when they absolutely don't have to. And speaking of taking stances on things, Bind Rune Recordings, they recently did a comp of anti-racist punk and metal bands. So be sure to check that out. The link is also down there in the description section. It features bands like Panopticon, Gothicles, Thou, Krieg, Chaos Moon, and a bunch of other awesome bands. And all the proceeds go to Black Lives Matter and Life After Hate. So props to Bind Rune and friends for actually, I don't know, taking a stance on something, you know, because it's nice to see metal actually standing up for something instead of just being indifferent and complacent about everything under the sun, with the exception of Antifa. And speaking of Bind Rune, in case you guys didn't know, Marty Worm from Bind Rune, as well as people like Eric Bauer and Ben Smasher and Jason Hook and Pat from Ground Zero Salem and Matt from The Dark Path, Devin, who does Maze of Torment, you know, all those guys, they do live streams every Friday, which I think they're a lot of fun. You know, if you want to hear mostly old dudes just kind of talking about metal and other things and just, you know, showing genuine kindness and friendship with each other, you know, laughing and just having a good ass time. You know, even Autumn from This Machine Kills Music, she jumps on here and there. But yeah, I think it's really cool, man. You know, it's nice seeing folks kind of fostering a community instead of just, you know, talking shit about people and appealing to the absolute lowest common denominator. But yeah, last night I jumped on there after watching the Vinyl Guru stream, and I was surprised and happy to see Count Blaggerith showing his face after a really long time. So hopefully we'll get that fool back on the YouTubes. But yeah, I think that's all that I wanted to yap about. So let's talk about some records. First record I'm going to show you, this is Panopticon Live Migration. So this was out on Bind Rune Recordings, and this is Panopticon set from the Migration Festival in 2018. And goddamn, this is super good. It's like listening to the studio records, but with more hazy production and the vocals being higher in the mix. Yeah, it makes me hate that I haven't seen these guys live because they sound so goddamn tight. They were going to play in, I think it was Kentucky, and I was going to drive up there. They were playing with Marty's band, The Glorious Dead, but that got canceled due to COVID, of course. But anyways, yeah, the vinyl is this clear vinyl with these nice colors all up in there, boy. Look at that. And even the clean parts on this just sound perfect. Ray from Falls Raros plays drums on this thing, and he's an absolute maniac. I've mentioned before how much I like Austin's drumming on Panopticon records, and Ray keeps up easily. But yeah, unless it's The Cure, I typically don't care for live albums, but this is an exception. It could be that it's just because I'm in quarantine, so I'm imagining myself there. So I don't know, maybe that's adding an extra layer of enjoyment. But either way, I feel like you should check this out because it's really good. And did I tell you guys that Austin actually said that he was a fan of my old band? Yeah, one of the most interesting and important figures in current US black metal said he liked my stupid old band. Yeah, from here out, anytime I mention Panopticon, I'm bringing that shit up. So get ready for it. Shout out to Austin. He seemed like a really nice guy. Yeah, next record I'm going to show you. This is Canis. I'm not sure how to pronounce this. Canis Dirus, I guess. And the record's called Independence to the Beast. So I got this with my Panopticon record. This is also on Bind Rune Recordings. There's the back. I knew nothing at all about this band when I got this. Apparently they've been putting out music since 2009, and I was just snoozy on it or something. Here's the insert. The vinyl is on this nice kind of cream color here. But yeah, this is killer. It's black metal with a lot of nuance. Like, at times it's angry and pissed off sounding. Sometimes it's a bit more frail and pretty sounding while still being dark the entire time. I figure fans of Panopticon would really enjoy this, but I also think fans of stuff like Druk would like this. Some of the stranger parts on this record even remind me of Bethlehem in a really good way. But there's neo-folk elements on here, but they're done in a way that's actually really tasteful. They're not cheesy. But yeah, this record's really fucking good, man. I'm just now listening to it, and now I'm trying to get caught up on their old albums. But yeah, this one, excellent. Next record I'm going to show you, this is Bloodlet, Entheogen. So yeah, this was a gift from Pat from Ground Zero Salem. If you're not subscribed to him, make sure you do. But yeah, this is one of my all-time favorite hardcore albums. And the cool thing is, this is one of the original presses from Victory Records, because it was later repressed on A389 Records, which folded later on. But yeah, I actually did a video on this album a while ago, so I won't talk about it a lot. I'll link it down there. But Bloodlet was a hardcore band from Florida, and I don't know, they're one of those bands that's kind of hard to classify because, I don't know, they were a hardcore band, but they're arguably more death metal than they are hardcore. But either way, it's just fantastic. Here comes with a lyric sheet. Hopefully you guys can see that. Great musicianship. I saw these guys a few times back in the day, and they were great every single time. I actually saw them about a year and some change ago, and they killed. They were awesome. But yeah, this is a fantastic album if you've not heard it. One of my favorite songs on here is called Annulment. I'd actually heard that song before I knew what the song was about. And it seems to be about the singer killing a woman and dressing up in her skin. I have no idea why. But yeah, the lyrics go, with the saints and martyrs I stand, having blessed you with your final menstruation. Your swan song stains my face, pacifying my soul, dressed in your skin, never again will we part. Yeah, that's some fucked up shit. I'm sure that'd be a big problem if it was written today. But in 1997, I believe, 5, 4, 3, one of those years, I guess it really kind of just went over our heads. What's funny is I had a song on my old band 7-inch that was kind of similar, where the lyrics were, there will be no more sacrifice, I'll immolate your existence. Now I have nothing but blood on my hands as your life force drains from your body to the floor. Yeah, when hardcore kids got our fucking hearts broken, man, we lashed out in some really terrible and troubling ways. I don't even remember what girl that song was about, but that's fucking terrible shit. But yeah, anyways, good thing we've grown, right? Alright, next record. This is Exuma. This is the first Exuma album, and I am so glad to have this. So, for those of you that don't know about Exuma, I tend to call them a freak folk band. I'm not sure if that really works though, because, I don't know, they're a band from the Bahamas, and there's elements of folk, but there's also elements of calypso, some traditional African music. Picture Comus, but with more African instrumentation. It makes no sense that this band was not a lot bigger than they were, especially with the kind of freak folk scene that got really popular some years ago. But I've been listening to them for many years, but I just never got around to getting a clean vinyl copy. I just always assumed that at some point there'd be like a nice reissue of the albums, and the fact that there's not is just beyond me. It makes no sense. But yeah, I don't know, maybe it's because like the band was one guy named Tony McKay, and he died in 1997, and maybe he just never gave permission for a repress, and maybe his family just won't approve one. I'm hoping that that's what it is, and it's not that there's no labels trying to get that. But yeah, anyways, you're not going to find a mint copy of this, and if you do, it's going to be fucking dumb expensive. But yeah, this band should absolutely have a documentary made about them, because, man, Tony's story is really insane and intense and wild. If you get bored, go read up on it. But yeah, if you're a fan of Comus, there's just no way that you're not going to like this album. If you like any of that kind of weird acid folk, psychedelic folk from the 70s, this is up your alley, man. It's staggering how incredible this album is. And while we're talking about Exuma, I may as well show Exuma 2. This is their second album, of course. And in my opinion, this one's just as good. You know, incredible musicianship, incredible songwriting. Such a weird album, but I think there might be prettier moments on this album, like the song Paul Simon, Non-Tooth. But then you have songs like A Place Called Earth, which is just so weird. And then the first song, Damn Fool, is my shit. You thought you married a woman, you married a big black bird. It's so good, so good. Anyways, yes, if you like acid folk, go check this out. Or if you like world music, African music, calypso, give this a shot. It's such an amazing album. Records on Black won't bother showing you that. And again, this is a little bit beat up. You're not going to find a mint copy, but this is pretty damn close to mint. So I'm really happy to have this. I didn't pay an arm and a leg for it, so yay me. And the last record I'm going to show on this edition of Records and Ramblings. This is Land Beyond the Forest, On Road to Frozen Stars. So this is a black metal band from Russia. They didn't do any full lengths. They just did 3 demos between 96 and 98. And then in 2000, they did like a comp or something like that. But this is one of the demos they did that Livor Mortis put out. It's on Livor Mortis, so it's limited to 100 copies, and you already know they're completely gone. So this is actually going to cost you quite a bit if you can find a copy. So I've been sitting around just kind of stalking Discogs, and I actually found a copy on there for about $35, which is around what I would have paid with shipping if I'd bought it new. So I was really stoked on that. Records on Black won't bother showing you that. The funny thing is, I bought this in March, and it didn't get here until about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that. The dude was being cool, and he was about to give me my money back, but the funny thing is, the day he told me he'd give me my money back, it showed up in the mail, and I'm happy that it did because it's in absolute perfect condition. So shout out to that guy, that Discogs guy, that honest, kind Discogs guy. But yeah, if you can find this for a good price and you like really good kind of raw atmospheric black metal, some keyboards here and there, really nasty sounding stuff, this is right up your alley, man. I hope that somebody presses their other records too, because they're fucking good too. All of their stuff is good. So yeah. So that's going to do it for this edition of Records and Ramblings. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I have an Out of My Element video that's coming very soon, and it's a doozy, so make sure you look for that. But as usual, thank you for living, thank you for loving, thank you for being you, and I'll see you guys next time. All right? Peace out. Boy.